I would like the Jahati Affair from the Police Embassy, Dr. Mr. Adhikari, to present his views. And then there will be tea break, and then we'll meet him.
Professor Anand Kumar, co-panelists, distinguished speakers and participants, ladies and gentlemen. I feel it an honor for me to be among such distinct and eminent personalities today and share my views on the topic Bhutanese refugees, the tragic story of the forgotten people. This symposium has provided a forum for discussing the issue of Bhutanese refugees in greater details, further clarifying the situation among the audience, and hopefully it will also make some important suggestions, recommendations or resolution which may be helpful for policy planners and all other stakeholders. And I feel that, as Rajesh just mentioned, it was only in 2005 that he heard the phrase Bhutanese refugees in Nepal. And I think it is important occasion for other audience also to know something about the Bhutanese refugees, the issue there, issues in Nepal, in Bhutan and other positions and other issues in India as well. I congratulate Human Rights Defense International India for organizing this symposium today, and thank you for providing me with this opportunity to be a part of the symposium. For the government and the people of Nepal, the issue of Bhutanese refugees has become and remains a matter of great concern. For the government of Nepal, this issue has presented serious challenge in making all the arrangements for the refugees. The government of Nepal has taken up the matter with concerned governments and with multilateral agencies for support in the refugee sustenance and sending them back to their country with dignity and honor. For the people of Nepal, it has been a matter of emotional and physical suffering, social problems and other unwanted difficulties. At the same time, the international community, including various governments and international organizations, have also taken pain in extending moral and material support to the refugees and later in resettling them in various countries under third country resettlement program. We can understand and feel the difficulty being faced by the government and the people of Nepal in taking care of over 100 refugees for so many years now. Not to mention the mental torture and physical suffering of the people driven away from their homes. The enlightened audience here today is well versed on the issues of Bhutanese refugees in Nepal. However, I don't think it would be out of context to briefly mention how the problem came about, and the steps taken so far. Therefore, let me go back to April 1990, when a small number of Bhutanese people entered Nepal, and the process resulted in the influx of more than 100,000 refugees in Nepal's land. In early April 1990, a group of people from southern Bhutan, perhaps 12, that's what I see here now, known in Bhutan as Dosampas, entered Nepal. We in Nepal allowed them without much concern and hoping that they would go back soon. By February 1991, the number of Bhutanese refugees had reached over 5,000. Following that, a massive number of Bhutanese people crossed the Indian territory, entered Nepal and sought asylum there. Their number had crossed over 100,000 by year 2000. The government of Nepal has taken it as purely a humanitarian problem and has been trying its best to provide them shelter with the hope that they will go back to their home country one day. Gradually, they were accommodated in 7 different camps in Japa and Morang districts of Nepal, and UNHCR, WFP and a number of other INGOs have been providing assistance to the refugees. When the number of the refugees went on increasing, the government of Nepal initiated its effort to send the refugees back to Bhutan. In July 1993, Nepal's then Home Minister, Mr. Deoba, who later became Prime Minister, visited Bhutan and held discussions with his Bhutanese counterpart. They agreed to establish a Ministerial Joint Committee, MJC, for bringing about a speedy and durable solution to the problem. The first meeting of the MJC held in Kathmandu in October 1993 agreed to group the refugee into 4 categories, namely bona fide Bhutanese if they have been evicted forcefully, Bhutanese who emigrated voluntarily, non-Bhutanese people, and those who have committed criminal acts in Bhutan. The MJC continued its meeting without concrete achievements. After a few rounds of meetings, the MJC at the level of Home Minister was changed into the level of Foreign Ministers. The 10th meeting of the Ministerial Joint Committee held in Kathmandu in 2000 agreed to go for the field verification, and the Joint Verification Team JVT was constituted for verifying the refugees, which commenced its work in March 2001 at Khudunabari camp, one of the camps in Japa. The 13th MJC meeting held in Thimphu in March 2003 reached an agreement on the modalities for the implementation of the outcome of the JVT work at Khudunabari meeting. During the 15th meeting of the MJC held in Thimphu in October 2003, the two sides agreed to repatriate the refugees staying in Khudunabari camp falling under categories 1, 2 and 4, and instructed the JVT to take up to review appeals by those falling under category 3, that is non-Bhutanese nationals. The meeting also agreed to take up Sanistare camp for verification in the second stage. Furthermore, the MJC also agreed to request the government of India for facilitating the safe passage of refugees to their home country. In the Khudunabari camp, more than 80% of the refugees were found to be genuine Bhutanese nationals who were either evicted or had left voluntarily. During a briefing session by Bhutanese side, which was held in December 2003 in Dhapa, about the terms and procedures applicable in Bhutan to the refugees upon their return to Bhutan, an unfortunate incident had occurred. After that, the Bhutanese side decided to leave Nepal without consulting the Nepalese side, which for Nepal is regrettable. Even after Nepal's repeated assurance of full security of Bhutanese team, no meetings have taken place and no progress has been made between the two sides. And the 15th meeting of the MJC has remained as the last meeting so far. In the meantime, there have been some unsuccessful attempts by the refugees to go to Bhutan on their own. The government of Nepal has been requesting the government of Bhutan for resumption of MJC and JVT meetings. The leaders of the two sides have met on various occasions. Nepal has been persistently requesting the Bhutanese side for resuming the stalled bilateral process. Nepal has been consistent on its position that the only durable solution to the problem is the return of the refugees to their country with honor and dignity. As I mentioned at the outset, the Bhutanese refugee problem has created financial burden for Nepal and the international community, as well as social and environmental problem for Nepal. The issue has taken a new turn from November 2007, when Nepal agreed to a third country resettlement program. The government of Nepal has been working with IOM and UNHCR for resettling the refugees in countries which have been kind and generous to accept the Bhutanese refugees languishing in camps for about 2 decades. As of 31st May 2012, last May, the distribution of the third country resettlement is as follows, with the number of individuals who have gone to the third country. USA 54,814, this is as of 31st May 2012. USA 54,814, Canada 4,691, Australia 3,490, New Zealand 653, Denmark 618, Norway 509, Netherlands 326, and the UK 224, making the total 65,325 as of May 2012. So I don't have the continuous distribution now. This number has now, as of today, reached 66,876. The UNHCR has received declaration of interest forms for nearly 90,000 refugees as of July 2010. The remaining applications are under process. The IOM and the UNHCR have been very efficiently handling the issue of their repatriation to third countries. We appreciate their help as well as the generosity of the 8 countries that have accepted the refugees. Let me repeat it again that we in Nepal are confident that return of the refugees to their home country with honor and dignity is the ultimately durable solution. And the third country resettlement is only a second option. Nepal had agreed to third country resettlement for the Bhutanese refugees without any prejudice to their inalienable right to return to their home country at an opportune time. When we discuss about Bhutanese refugees in Nepal, a question naturally role in finding a mutually acceptable solution to the problem. Moreover, India has been the transit country for the refugees while crossing over to Nepal. Therefore, it has to facilitate the return of the refugees to Bhutan as well. We understand the very close relationship between India and Bhutan as well, and we are happy about it. At the same time, Nepal expected and still expects balanced, constructive, and a positive role from India in finding a durable solution to this common problem. It was with this spirit that the 15th Ministerial Joint Committee had decided to request the Government of India for facilitating the safe passage of the refugees to their home country. Nepal and Bhutan are very good friends, and ever since the establishment of diplomatic relations in 1983, these two countries have always remained close neighbors. Both are members of the UN, SAARC, BIMSTEC, etc. Both are least developed, landlocked countries and have been extending cooperation in various international forums. For some years now, we have focused on promoting economic and commercial relations with emphasis on matters relating to trade, culture and tourism. Our two sides are holding meetings on trade and other matters. We have air service agreement since 2004 and the group here is operating its flights between Kathmandu and Paro. The air services agreement has also provisions for the group here to fly up to Bodh Gaya and Mumbai in India via Kathmandu. We hold the view that the refugees issue has remained a challenge for the cordial and friendly relations between Nepal and Bhutan. Nepal is not a party to the International Convention on Refugees 1951, nor to its Protocol 1967, and therefore doesn't have any legal or treaty obligation to accept refugees from other countries. We allow the Bhutanese people to enter and stay in our territory purely under humanitarian ground, as a temporary measure and with the hope that they would soon go back to their country with honor and dignity. Nepal has utilized all available avenues to solve this humanitarian problem in a peaceful manner. We are still hopeful that the government of Bhutan will be more forthcoming, resume the bilateral process established in 2003 and find a durable and mutually acceptable solution to this unexpected and unwanted irritant in our bilateral relations. Thank you very much.